Europe has a serious problem. If you buy an Audi RS6, you instantly become a target. This car has a bullseye on it that is almost unique in the automotive world. But why do criminals like this car thief SQ and the notorious Audi Gang desire the RS6 above all else? It comes down to three things. First, it is notoriously easy to steal. Second, it has become a definitive status symbol in the underground world. And third, it is the ultimate getaway tool. In this video, we explore the dark side of the RS6 and the security flaws that make it so vulnerable. The big question is though, why does so many criminals want it? There is a lot of competent cars out there. Why has the RS6 and the other RS models become the target? It's kinda simple if you break it down. The RS6 is actually a station wagon. It was made for fathers like James here, who want a little kick in their daily commutes. Under the hood is a 600 horsepower V8. The car is agile and quick, while also having 5 seats and the enormous boot space. This is one of the reasons why the RS6 is so popular among criminals. How does a person reach the point where they can look at another man's hard work and decide it belongs to them? What leads somebody to not only steal, but to justify it so completely that it feels like a logical career choice? To understand the twisted mindset behind the thief, we need to meet this man, SQ. A criminal who grew up in one of Germany's most dangerous neighborhoods, Marxloh. SQ grew up with no father and his mother working 3 jobs to feed him and his 2 younger sisters. SQ had no other father figures than the older guys he hung out with in the center of Marxloh. Seeing his mother work so much and his sisters not being able to do something as simple as buying a soda, SQ had to do something about it. The only father figures he had promised SQ wealth and stability for his family if he joined them in the streets, where he sold drugs, stole and eliminated people for money. In this environment, SQ's biggest dream in life was to one day being able to have an RS6. The RS6 was a clear status symbol in the streets. The year was 2003, and if you saw someone driving a RS6 in Marxloh, you knew that they were committing crimes at a high level, successful and professional, with heavy tools. The first time SQ saw an RS6, he was about 14 years old, selling at the back of a pizzeria. He saw a blacked out RS6 pass by, he heard the V8 roaring, and inside he saw a highly respected criminal in the area. That same criminal had just come from a ATM robbery the day before. You see, the RS6 is the perfect car for robberies, banks and ATMs. This car was perfect for loading up valuables in its spacious boot and disappearing. The police stood no chance. The Audi RS6 and the other RS6 models became so beloved by criminals that a gang formed around these cars, the Audi Gang from the Netherlands. Criminals like the Audi Gang is one of the reasons why the Audi RS models has become such a popular vehicle for criminals. But who are the Audi Gang? The Audi Gang is a dangerous criminal network, a name born in 2015 when a wave of ATM bombings swept across Europe, characterized by the consistent use of stolen, tuned Audi RS models as getaway vehicles. But do not let the name fool you. This isn't just a group of car thieves, it's a sophisticated paramilitary criminal network. Europol estimates the syndicate consists of between 600 and 1,000 members. The Audi Gang is fascinating. They represent a new breed of criminals. They are high-speed, high-stakes threat that turns quiet neighborhoods into war zones in matter of seconds. And they have proven time and again that they are willing to destroy anything and anyone that stands in their way. And to give some real-life examples of how these criminals use an Audi RS6 to commit crimes, I have 2 very dramatic examples for you today. Let's begin small and move along with the bigger cases as we go. In the early hours of October 16, 2024, Dutch, French and German police forces arrested 3 members of a violent criminal network that carried out attacks on cash machines using explosives. Europol brought together an investigation from the 3 countries in order to take down the criminals, who are believed to have looted millions of euros and caused a similar sum in property damage from 2000 2022 to 2024. Using these explosives, they blew up ATMs and were gone in literal seconds, using the Audi RS6 that could do 0 to 100 in 3.4 seconds. This isn't the only instance where the Audi RS6 has been used as a getaway car. I bring these examples up so you can see how the RS6 is being used by criminals in real life examples. In another case, robbers stole $52 million from a vault in Germany. They managed to steal cash, gold and jewelry from the vault of German savings bank. According to the police in the western city of Gelsenkirchen, the robbers drilled their way into the underground vault room of the savings bank from the parking garage. Investigators suspect the gang spent much of the weekend inside, breaking open the deposit boxes. The heist in Gelsenkirchen saw the thieves break into more than 3,000 safe deposit boxes. Police said video footage shows a blacked out Audi RS6 leaving the garage. Alright, now we understand that the Audi is a competent car, but there are a lot of competent cars. Why did the RS6 become the obvious choice? The Audi RS6 was first of its kind, one of the first German high-performance family wagons. The first Audi RS6, known as the C5 generation, debuted in 2002 as both a sedan and a wagon version, featuring a 4.2-liter twin-turbo V8 producing 450 PS and 560 Newton meters of torque. It was Audi's most powerful car at the time, capable of 0 to 100 kilometers in 4.7 seconds, which was insanity back in 2002. There was no other car like the Audi RS6 at the time. Audi's rivals Mercedes and BMW didn't have a super high-end performance station wagon in 2002. Well, the BMW had the E34 M5, but there were only 891 units made, and the Mercedes only had the 1987 Mercedes-Benz AMG Hammer wagon, which only had one AMG version, made for a wealthy customer in Canada, even when Mercedes released the E55 AMG wagon in 2005. After the RS6's success, it didn't sell as well as the Audi did. BMW introduced their E61 M5 Touring, but it was much later in 2007. By that point, the Audi RS6 had already become a status symbol and was a desired car. Generally speaking, the RS6 arrived at the perfect time, ahead of its competition and during a period when crime rates in Europe began to skyrocket in some countries and in some statistics. When it came to ATM robberies and RS6's use as a getaway car, criminals became drawn to the wagon version because of its capabilities. It slowly became a status symbol in the underground scene. If people in your hood saw you with an Audi RS6, they correlated it with success. The car was a sleeper. Between 2008 and 2010, Audi put a literal Lamborghini engine in their family wagons. They took the V10 out of the Gallardo and put it in the Audi RS6. It looked like a ordinary car at the time. This made it easier to blend in with traffic whilst fleeing from the police and avoiding them afterwards. You could quickly change the rims and no one would suspect it was you. Whilst a supercar, for example, could get caught instantly because of how rare they are. The Audi RS6 was kinda common if you look at it in a way. It looked almost identical to thousands of the base model A6s. Identifying a criminal in what looked like a regular family wagon was almost impossible for the police at the time. When the young ones saw the older, successful guys driving around in a blacked out Audi RS6, which they drove because it was the best car for the task, the car quickly became a dream for those on the streets. Hearing the massive car roar with rap blasting through their speakers as it sped away in unseen speeds and made every kid in these areas want one. It infected their young, gullible minds, but very few could actually afford it, and no one in the underground scene could buy it legally. So what did they do? They went out and robbed them, which surprisingly was an easy task. This is James. After years of studying to become an architect and years of hard work thereafter, he saved up enough money to buy his dream car, a brand new Audi RS6. He was happy every time he glanced at his driveway, looking at not just a car but the culmination of years of hard work. One night of sleep, sleep, James woke up to an empty driveway. His heart sank to his stomach. He feared what was reality. He looked at his security footage and saw SQ driving away in his car in the middle of the night. Years of hard work gone, along with the illusion of safety in his own home. SQ didn't just stumble upon the car. He had followed James from a restaurant. He marked the house days in advance and had planned this robbery for weeks. Analyzed the routines of James before striking. We now know why criminals want it, but what made James' car so easy to steal, and how did SQ pull this off so easily? Quickly, I just want to say subscribe. I'm a brand new channel here and I would really appreciate your support. I love exploring stories like these, and the type of work I do here on YouTube is a dream job of mine, so I would really appreciate if you could subscribe and support the dream that I've had since I was a little child. And let's get straight back into the story. They don't need your keys. They don't even need to break a window. With a $20 device and 60 seconds of time, they can clone your car's soul and disappear into the night. To understand this phenomenon, we first have to understand what keyless entry is. The Audi RS6 and the other high-end models were easy to steal, not because of a broken lock, but because of a systematic flaw in how they talk to the key. In a normal car, you press a button. In an RS6, the car is constantly searching for its owner. This is the essence of keyless entry, so you don't have to unlock the car every time you step into it. The unlock mechanism happens automatically when you approach the car. The key emits a low-frequency radio signal, a ping, every few seconds asking, "Are you there?" When the key fob is within 1 to 2 meters, it hears that ping and replies, "Yes, I'm here. Unlock the doors." This happens in milliseconds. It's a silent, invincible handshake between the car and the key. One of the ways thieves steal these cars requires 2 thieves and 2 cheap devices called signal boosters or relay boxes. These can be bought from the dark web or even Telegram for under $100. SQ acts as the fisherman in this instance. He stands by your front door or window with an antenna. He is the fisher. He is fishing for the signal coming from your keys sitting on the kitchen counter or the hallway. SQ's friend acts as the driver. They stand by the car with a second box. The attack. SQ's box picks up a faint signal from the key inside the house and amplifies it, beaming it into the friend's box by the car. The result, the car hears the signal from the friend's box and thinks the owner is standing right there with the key. The door unlocks. The friend hits the start button and the engine roars to life. The scary fact is, this entire process takes less than 20 seconds and makes zero noise. The owner is sleeping 10 feet away while the car is being driven off. This method was popular among a lot of new modern cars, but the RS6s and the other Audi models were extra vulnerable. This was kinda perfect because they were easier to steal and a more desirable car. It was a match made in heaven for criminals. The Audis had no sleep mode. In earlier models, pre-2019 and 2020, the key fobs were always on. They never stopped listening for the car's signal. Modern keys now have a motion sensor. If the key hasn't moved for 3 minutes, it goes to sleep and stops transmitting. Convenience over security. Audi prioritized the premium feel of the doors unlocking as you approach the car. They didn't calculate that thieves could use high-powered signal boosters to reach into people's homes. OBD port exploits. Even if the thief couldn't get a relay signal, earlier Audis had a vulnerability where a thief could break the window, plug the device into a OBD port, and program a blank key in seconds. While the Audi has introduced better encryption and motion sensor keys in the latest C8 generation, millions of older RS6s, 6 and C7s are still on the road with the old, vulnerable tech. For these owners, there is no software update that can fix the hardware flaw. Their only defense is a $10 Faraday pouch, a bag that blocks radio signals, or a steering wheel lock, which looks ridiculous on a $120,000 car. James eventually got his insurance payout. He could buy another car, but he didn't buy another Audi, because for him, the roar of the V8 no longer represented success. It sounded like a warning. Meanwhile, somewhere In the heart of Ruh area, a new 14-year-old is standing at the back of a pizzeria, watching a blacked out wagon speed by and starting to dream.